Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Strat Gamer here, providing you with a completely new episode of Anno 1800, and we're going to look at some modes today again. 3 different modes, but in reality, it's actually more like 20 different modes because in each of those modes, there's let's call it sub-modes. So basically, when you are in your mode loader, you can select them one by one. You can activate them all, or you can deactivate some that you don't like. So that's really something powerful, I feel. Before we dive in, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're into strategy games, city building games, simulations, that's exactly what I cover. So don't hesitate to subscribe so you never miss another video and you help support the channel. Okay, so let's dive in. And as I said, we have 3 different modes. The first one is called the High Contrast Range Indicator Color by FAM. The second is the Incipium's Tweaks and Enhancement. And the last one is the Item Buildings Affect Entire Island. So 3 different modes, 3 that are, let's say, completely different. Some are UI focused, some are gameplay focused, some are a bit of everything. And that's the Incipium's one. So let's dive in that order. First, the high contrast range indicator colors. And in that one, there's actually 2 versions. When you download on Nexus, you can see 2 versions. And of course, I have put all of the links in the description below for you to download them. So this first one, in its base version, it does what you're seeing here on the screen. So the range for the buildings is as a high contrast. So what does that mean? I mean, if you look here, you can see the green is a lot greener than usual. And then you can see, so this is for an university, all right? So up until here, I will have 100% coverage. And now from there, less than 100. And you can really see the divide. Because honestly, without this mode, sometimes it's a bit hard to know where the limit is. Versus here, I feel like you really can see it quickly. And then the second version of that mode is a colorblind friendly version, with very different colors. So thank you, FAM, for this mode. Very useful. I think I will keep it in all my games going forward. Doesn't change the gameplay, but definitely in terms of UI, it is something worth noting. Then let's move to the Item Buildings Affect Entire Islands by Midits. And this one has 3 submodes. I have activated all of them right now, but I will explain them one by one. So the first one is the main one, and the main one basically, you can see here, when you create trade unions, let's put a new one, usually you see a red circle around it, right? That shows the range of that trade union. And when you put items inside that trade union, these items only affect the buildings that are in that range. Now with this mode, it's no longer true. You can have as many as you want. You can have as many as you want next to each other, right? As you can see, 2 here. There's no radius anymore that can't overlap. And on top of that, they do impact the whole island. So for example, here I put Michaela, which impacts mines and quarries, right? But there's no mines and quarries here. But then if I go, let's click here, to my mines here, perfect. You can see this is a mine very, very far away. Michaela does affect, and there's no trade union, as you can see here. And if I were to put a second Michaela, it will actually affect both. So let's do that test. Let's put a magnetist here and also a magnetist in that one next to it. There's of course no oil here once again, but if we go to my oil plants here, okay, that is strange. Oh, no. my bad, oil power plants. So I know I have some. Where are they? Oh, I am clearly not fully awake. Here. And you can see two of these. So they will impact boss. So that is obviously very, very powerful. Can completely change your gameplay. And that's why there's other two submods. The first one, what it does is it changes the influence cost. You can see here influence investment is 100 instead of the 20 that is normal. And this is the same for the Arbor Master. It goes from 20 to 60. And for
the other day, someone mistook me for an engineer's wife.
the Town Hall is 0. I think that's a bug. But basically, that goes to 100 for the trade unions. So when in the past you would have 5 different trade unions, but very localized, now you would only have one, but that affects your island with only 3 items, right? Instead of the 3 times 5, 15, basically. And then the other changes, or the other submode, is around the items, where you have a lot less purchasable items. So these are the changes I've seen with these mods. And once again, this is by Midits. Don't hesitate to check it out. And then lastly, it's Incipiums. And this one has many inside. I'll probably forget a few, but let's start. And once again, you can decide which you want to apply and which you don't want to apply. So let's take any element here and look at the productivity. You can see base productivity plus 100%, polar cycle park, which is my set here, plus 25%, and then Incipium's increased productivity. So basically this mod increases the productivity of all productions by 100%. So double the base in a sense. So that's huge to need less buildings. But on the other side, it also has a submode increasing the population. You can see this is farmers 20. Usually farmers is 10, right? Workers usually 20, here 40, etc., etc. You can see how it doubles. Similarly, once again in terms of gameplay, services are a lot better. They are increased by their range is increased by a lot. The way you can see it is actually with the university I had before. Now this is the only university in that all range here, and it goes up to here, which is crazy, right? It's double the range. Then the ships are also faster. I don't know if we can see that quickly. I mean, it's hard to prove it to you, but I'm in regular speed, and they still, you can see, it's quite quick.
Let the sails fill.
Next one, which you can also find in Spice It Up, is that it takes out the royal tax. The royal tax have disappeared, so that's an easy one to make a lot more money. And then there's two big ones that I want to share last. One is around the production, the farms, the crop farms, but also the animal farms. You can see an animal farm here, no modules, right? And still it's working. So it takes out the need for any of the crop and animal farms need. Similarly for forests, like for your wood, we can put many next to each other, no problem. And you can see it's the same for the grain farms, and true also in your other regions. And the last one is for the Arctic. So let's jump to the Arctic. Don't have big cities here in that save, but you can see here 5 explorers, 5 explorers, it halves the workforce needed. So instead of 10, it's only 5. 50% reduction. Why the Arctic? But because at that time when he created the mode, which is quite a while back, some of the other regions didn't exist. Plus, the Arctic by many is really defined as the hardest region, right? Where because of the space, because of the heat need and things like this, decreasing the Arctic workforce population is huge. Or look at this. The wolves are attacking this poor. Oh, and these ones are also. Oh no, just walking around. Anyway, so I'm sure I forgot a few of these ones. In Incipium, there's really many, but you can once again see it in the description below, and also when you put it in your mod loader, you will see them one by one, and you can choose which one to include or not. So 3 big mods, thanks again, Incipium, FAM, and Midits for creating them. And if for all of you watching, hope you like this episode, and don't hesitate to share any other mods that you want me to look at. Hope to see you next time.